Right. So actually, there's no Australians here. Oh, there's Gabe. You just missed. Gabe, I was just asking everybody what Memorial Day was about, and they were explaining it's like our Anzac Day. Except actually, it's a big shopping day here.
Of Memorial Day. So yeah, Anzac Day, well, you'd know, yeah, it was like it starts at the crack of dawn, but it's commemorating the Gallipoli.
Ah, right.
So
Australian
yeah,
New
yeah,
Zealand forces. I
yep,
used to go at Kings Park. I used to get up and go up there. It was absolutely beautiful. They do a ceremony and they blow the horn. Do,
yep.
do,
Oh, the
do, do, do,
bugle.
the bugle. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
it
lovely.
is beautiful. Yeah.
And the sun would rise. It's very, very cool. And I would go with my dad wasn't fighting in Gallipoli, but I had some of his medals, so I would wear them.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
And so everybody does, and all the little children do for their
yeah,
ancestors. It's really quite sweet,
it's
but
very sweet. So that's what
it's
we do at
really
home.
moving.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's incredibly moving. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
I'll
what we
say.
do at home for the people that were fighting, the soldiers, yeah, and the Air Force and the whatever else. So I'm trying to evoke because all I'm seeing on my feed is what's for sale, and it's a completely opposite feeling to this one of standing up there in a hill and watching the sunrise and having the bugle playing and these little kids there with their great great grandfather's medals, and it's Memorial Day. If we could probably grasp a feeling of this, the severity of people giving up their lives to, you know, save their country or protect democracy. It's very, very moving. So it might be a good time to motivate for all those people who have given themselves up. And it's not only the ones that passed away, but the ones that were injured and now have PTSD, or as a result of that, might be living on the street because they couldn't get their lives together when they came home. So a lot of people have sacrificed a lot um, in the name of, wanting to protect. So let's just keep that in our mind and settle yourselves into a nice, comfortable, seated posture. So some of you here may have had relatives, or you may be a military family, and so you know the disruption it causes when, with people leaving, coming and going, and then people having to move from place to place, start again with a new school, a new group of friends, and then, parents not returning. So it's quite difficult. So just settle, go to the crown of the head and relax your scalp. And just allow everything to sort of soften, align your spine, shoulders with the hips, ears align with the shoulders, and just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And we can think about all the people of our life, all our strangers, all of our loved ones, and then all of the ones we don't like. And then imagine they could change place at any time. And they're all equal, and they wish to be happy, and they wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity as well. So we think. We sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything that we have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So he's kind of like a healer. And something happened here. Just got a bunch of things going on, not supposed to be open. So just imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, facing the same way as you. You can also imagine he's your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit, and he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and they're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful, and they're full of love and compassion without any critical thought, all equal love and compassion to all. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you will result as suffering for them sometime down the track. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire being and fills you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So be delighted that any harm you may have done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire body. And this time forcing up to the top of your body and out of the top all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows quite forcefully and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Te. So feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So imagine you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on that switch. So the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness in that room. So just as the light hits your heart chakra, the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all the attachment and neediness and anger and bitterness, depression, anxiety, resentment, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar, and it fills you completely. And this just kind of just eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita me boa, Situkai me boa, Sipokai me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawasiti me piyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe, Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasafa Dina Patita, Dita me boa, Situkai me boa, Sipokai me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawasiti me piyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anarakta Me Boa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta me boa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita me boa Situkaya me boa Sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this determination, we're going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. We have this kind of like habit energies in our consciousness or conscious mind. So sometimes it's very difficult for us to not react or to not blurt things out or to not swat that fly. Just because we just have this habit to do that. So what we're wanting to get be here is a little bit more aware of our habits and how they might harm ourselves and others. And then we just make this determination to try and refrain. But first, we must rejoice in our efforts. Really feel happy in yourself. You know, and particularly also all of you coming along for now, you know, a few years, which is extraordinary. And then all of you who've been hosting consistently. It's really, really amazing, so helpful. So we just rejoice in each other and then think of something you'd like to work on. It's just a little project, nothing too big. And then think, Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wants to, you know, merge with your mind. He melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. So you can think in emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a moment. We can think, you know, all phenomena are empty. They don't exist from their own side. You know, maybe the way things appear to me aren't the way they exist. And Lama Yeshe would say, you know, the ultimate understanding of emptiness is to recognize the emptiness of the mind, the consciousness. And that's what he was teaching in his Mahamudra in the 70s and 80s here in America and Australia, I think, as well. Anyway, we're all getting there. Slowly, slowly, step by step. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created during this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So we're making our way through this Manjushri. So the bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his luster most supreme, most wise upholder of the great illusion, fulfiller of the illusion, the great illusion's aims, enraptured by the great illusion's rapture, the great illusion's great illusionist. One more. The foremost lord of great munificence, supreme upholder of the great discipline, intense supporter of great tolerance, with valor rooted in great diligence. Okay, everybody, let's just dedicate for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then for all of your own precious teachers. Okay. Lots of love, everyone. Take care. Have a safe weekend. And I'll see you all on Monday. Okay. Bye. Good night.